Powered by Riverside FM.
It feels really good to be a Minnesota Vikings fan, man. It feels absolutely spectacular. I mean, you think about some of our off seasons that we've had before, like everything just feels like it's in place. Everything just kind of feels really good. We've got guys that are in the front office for the Minnesota Vikings that are making great decisions. We got one of the best head coaches in the game, and we've got yet a young future franchise quarterback. So the question becomes, man, how far is this going to go? Like, this is going to end with the Minnesota Vikings probably having their best shot to win a Super Bowl. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings have made several significant moves this 2025 offseason, and their roster is just getting better and better and better. And they're still talking about adding guys like Asante Samuel. I mean, it's just everything is just in place. Everything is just in place. You're talking about first, let's just start off with the JJ McCarthy thing and just his development. I mean, if there was ever a great ball of clay to be able to make anything you want, like it's JJ McCarthy. Like the foundation, the bare foundation that is already there from JJ. The intelligence, the confidence, the work ethic, just a well-rounded cornerback. Big time arm. Everybody always underestimates JJ McCarthy's arm. JJ McCarthy has a whip. He has a whip. Okay, I'm not saying it's Brett Favre like or Josh Allen like, but he can get the ball where it needs to go. I mean, his development is going to be key, but there's the floor right now is already so high. So, and I think I've always been under the philosophy that you need a quarterback that can take you to the promised land. It is the biggest component to a championship team that you could ever have. I mean, when you look at the history of the Super Bowl and teams, guys, that have made the Super Bowl, you've got to have a quarterback with that it factor. There are some great quarterbacks in the league right now that are great during the preseason, but just can't make it through. They can't get over the hump. So now their criticism is, are they as good as advertised? Because they can't get past that AFC championship. They can't get past that NFC championship. Man, winning a Super Bowl is hard. Getting to that game is extremely hard. And not only getting to that game, man, but you got to find a way to win it. Think about our franchise, the Purple. How many times they have been there, and yet they have come away empty when it comes to a Super Bowl championship. Man, it's an elusive prize. It's an elusive prize. And I think it starts when you have a guy like JJ at the helm. And I think the whole Aaron Rodgers thing was really, really tempting. I'm going to tell you, it was really, really tempting because you have a guy that have been there and done that, albeit he hadn't been there and done that in a long time. But you had a guy that has 3 MVPs, a Super Bowl ring, so still has a whip for an arm as well. I don't buy all the talk that Aaron Rodgers is a scrub or that he's fallen off the way some people try to make it seem like he's fallen off. I think that's all emotion and unlike for Aaron Rodgers. But I see the temptation. I see the temptation from KOC, thinking about it, having a conversation about it. But here's the best thing that you can know about JJ McCarthy is that if a guy who is embedded with developing quarterbacks knows how to do, adopted the nickname quarterback whisperer. If he was able to say no to Aaron Rodgers, there's got to be something special about JJ McCarthy. And here's the deal. I trust KOC in that department. You could have a lot of issues with KOC and his play calling or game management, whatever you want. But the one area where you know he excels is at the quarterback position. He knows what he likes. He knows what he sees. He knows how to cultivate it. He knows how to develop it. And so if he were able to say to Aaron Rodgers, we're happy where we are, think about the vote of confidence that is for a guy like JJ McCarthy, especially being 22 years old. We've got something special there. And the offensive lineman that we brought in, and specifically I'm talking about Ryan Kelly and Will Fries. I mean, those signings talk about bolstering the offensive line just in terms of talent. But you talk about bringing them both in from the same team, the Indianapolis Colts, where they excelled. Now you have that instant chemistry. That is not a mistake. That is just absolute genius by Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah and the crew. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings brass, they always seem to be going that extra step. And this is what I'm talking about where I say everything is feeling really good. It's 70 degrees and the sun is shining every day when it comes to that organization. You just can't beat it. We add that offensive line to two already stud tackles in O'Neal and Christian Darrisaw. I mean, my gosh, we're going to have one of the best lines in the league. Now, I know the verdict is still out on left guard, but it seems to me that KOC has given Brandell his vote of confidence as well. KOC has come out and said, and make no mistake, he has been clear that he wants to run the damn football. And so I think you're just going to see a shift in what we've seen before under Kevin O'Connell, running the football. They're going to be able to run the ball. I mean, my goodness, I think it's just going to put this team on another stratosphere in terms of running the football in that department, increased offensive linemen, and two stud running backs. And we all know what Aaron Jones can do. And I think people were a little bit hard on Aaron Jones. I mean, how can you be hard on a guy that had career stats in a lot of different categories? He took more snaps than he ever took with the Packers, had more yards from scrimmage than he ever took with the Packers. And a lot of Green Bay Packer fans, when we acquired Aaron Jones, were saying, well, he's going to be hurt in about 5 games. He was banged up last year, don't get me wrong, but he played in all 17 games. And now you're adding a Robin to his Batman, or heck, from everything that I hear about Jordan Mason could be Batman and Aaron Jones could be Robin. Jordan Mason is no joke, guys. And for Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, again, to pull off a trade for Jordan Mason, enhancing our running game and making our offensive lineman acquisitions, I mean, those are the puzzle pieces that fit together. It makes us really daunting on the offensive end. You're going to have to pick your poison for the Minnesota Vikings. Think about this. TJ Hawkinson exploiting the middle of the field. You got a stud 1-2 combination at wide receiver, and now you can run the football. And don't let J.J. McCarthy be anywhere near his expectations, because the one thing I know about J.J. and watching him play, he fits in teams that likes to run the ball, a la Jim Harbaugh and the team up north. Because now you can incorporate a lot of play action stuff and exploit the middle of the field. His insurance policy is going to be TJ Hawkinson at the tight end spot. Everything fits seamlessly. UP Nation, Minnesota Viking fans, you've got to be happy about this. And anybody else is on the outside looking in, like Chicago Bears fans, Detroit Lions fans, Green Bay Packer fans, if you can't see and be a little bit concerned about what the Minnesota Vikings are building in Eagan, Minnesota, then you're just hating on the Minnesota Vikings, because everything just seems to be coming together. Then you look at the Javon Hargrave sign. I mean, the Vikings strengthened their offensive line by signing this defensive tackle to address their defensive pass rush needs. You bring in Javon Hargrave, and then at the cornerback position, you add the additions of Isaiah Rodgers and Jeff Okudah. Now, these signings are not the sexiest signings in free agency, but these are all guys of value, guys that may have had injuries, guys that may not have been able to play a full campaign in terms of 17 games during their season, guys that some people may speculate may be on the ass end of their career. Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah has done a really good job in terms of free agents and being able to bring these guys in for value, because other organizations may not see the value. A guy like Javon Hargrave. You know, when you look at the defensive tackle landscape, he was not a guy, when you look at the list of defensive tackles that were on the top of free agency boards in a lot of organizations. But again, just like Van Ginkel, just like Grenard, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah sees the values in these players, and it's just going to enhance our football team. Minnesota Viking fans, you just got to be happy. And then the commitment to beefing up the running game, the commitment to beefing up the trenches on the offensive line and the defensive line, where everything on the outside in terms of your skill positions have been pretty good the last couple of years. Now you're getting down to business. And I'm telling you, Minnesota Viking fans, UP Nation fans, this thing is about to get real. Every step of the way, the Minnesota Vikings are making great moves. Sometimes it's the moves that they don't make that really enhance the team. Not bringing Sam Darnold back, not bringing in an Aaron Rodgers. It's only going to make the team better. And now we're on the verge, according to a lot of rumors out there, they're talking about bringing in Asante Samuel. I mean, my goodness gracious. If that gets done, watch out NFC North, watch out NFC. The Minnesota Vikings are coming. They're coming. Great time to be a Minnesota Vikings fan. This is Unconventional Playbook. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Please consider becoming a member. Those that become a member will be entered into a drawing to win a Minnesota Vikings Winter Warrior jersey. And as always, on Unconventional Playbook, we will make sure to see you when we see you. Skol.